Oh, well, firstly, thank you for, allowing me to interview you for the channel, man. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Now, for everybody watching, if you don't know who Thomas Gantt is, he is a professional MMA fighter with a 10-0 record of 9 finishes. And as an amateur, he had five fights, 5 finishes, correct?
Yep. Yes,
hmm
sir.
And you also wrestled at NC State. And I don't know if you are still coaching or a assistant coach.
Yeah, I wrestled there, but I'm not coaching anymore. I went full time with fighting in May, I think. I finished up. So I've been full time ever since, man.
So how's being full time as a fighter? How's that been?
Uh Being full time as a fighter is challenging in its own ways, man. When you got a couple kids, I got 3 kids, and just juggling everything, man. Getting your boxing in, your jujitsu, your wrestling, your grappling, getting everything in. But it's fun though, man. I've been enjoying it, man. Been the first time I kind of really been able to really train and whatnot. So it's been fun.
So you mentioned your kids. How have they motivated you and kind of been a part of your successes in combat sports?
Man, my kids motivate me tremendously, man. It's hard to even kind of put it into words, man. From the standpoint of me trying to provide a better life for them than I had. So that just kind of sends me to a whole different mindset, man, when it comes time to step in that octagon, you know?
Yeah, I was looking on your page. I was trying to do, some research so I don't come out here and look dumb. And
Mm-hmm.
I seen them. I was like, obviously I got to ask about them. That's obviously got to be a
Hmm.
big motivation for you. Um,
Yeah, definitely, man.
so and I had to bring it up. In one of your fights, you came in as a -2,000 favorite. How does it
Really?
feel? Yes, really. I looked at. I
What
was
fight was
like,
that?
it was against I forgot the his first name. His last name was Henry. He was 11
Oh,
and
Josh.
7, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. I
Yeah.
did see that. I saw that on the replay. But yeah, that was crazy, man. I didn't even know about it, man, until after the fight. I think somebody was telling me. I was like, that's crazy. So I probably wouldn't bet -2,000, but hey, if you like gambling, man, go ahead.
But how does it feel to have that kind of pressure on you to be that big of a favorite going
Mhm.
into all your fights, pretty much?
Yes. I don't necessarily really feel pressure, man. It's more of a privilege because at the end of the day, like I think pressure really matters for like I don't want to say regular people, but like I guess like when you gamble, that's pressure. So when you put in the slip and you got +2,000 or +100 or +5, you're like, man, I don't know about this one. But when you train hard, man, I don't really consider pressure. I think of it as a privilege, man. I put in the work whenever I could literally can't do nothing else. When I'm sitting in that back getting ready for a fight, I'm like, yeah, I did everything I can do. You know what I mean? So it ain't no pressure. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
So
Gotta
yeah,
stack the odds in your favor. But yeah.
so that was kind of going into my second question was you have 9 finishes as a pro, and as an amateur you had all finishes in your 5 fights.
Mhm.
Um, and you just said that you don't really feel pressure, being that big of a favorite. So I guess you wouldn't feel the pressure to get a finish in each of your fights, considering that you have such a high percentage of finishes in all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I would say I don't really like hearing the scores get read, man, because I've seen so many crazy decisions and stuff like that. And not to say that'll happen all the time, but it's just like that. Like I don't want to even hear that. I want to hear submission, TKO. You know what I mean? So I know, and without a doubt in my mind, like yeah, I'm like I won. I won every round, and I got him out of there too. So there's no doubt in my mind. Like I know what the ref's gonna say. I don't have to guess. You know what I mean?
Now, watching that Henry fight, the commentators were comparing you to John Jones in your fight style,
Mhm.
and without them even saying it, the way you were fighting using your elbows and your length, and
Mhm.
just being it kind of reminded me of John Jones versus Glover Teixeira. How he
Mhm.
used his elbows really to
Yeah.
and I was like, dude,
Knees.
this dude literally looks like John Jones, how he's out there fighting. Has anybody ever said that apart from myself in the commentary at that fight?
Yeah, obviously, man. Like he's one of the best to do it. So I mean, I got a lot more to do in the sport before you can start saying something like that. And that's with all due respect to one of the best guys to do it. But I appreciate it, but I got a lot more left to do. You know what I mean? I got a lot of guys in front of me and a lot of cage time to make up for, octagon time to make up for. You know, but yeah.
Now, you know, you obviously got the call to fight at the Dana White Contender Series. Have you been looking at any of the events so far? The last two, I believe they've had two.
Yeah, I saw the first day and the second one, man. The first one was a little boring, but them dudes got it. Them dudes got after it. The second one, man, they got after it.
Yeah.
And obviously, five guys got contracts, but yeah, they got after it, man. It's been fun, man. It's a good opportunity, man. That's what I tell people, man. They're just like, oh, congrats this and congrats that. I'm like, I don't necessarily want to congratulations. Like, there's nothing been done yet. I want to win the title. Then you can congratulate me. You know what I mean? So, uh,
So, you just mentioned the title. Have you been? Well,
mm,
no. Okay, now I have to ask you because there's been a lot of. I've been kind of confused because on what I was looking to research you and your fights, it has you listed as a middleweight, but then a majority of your fights have been at welterweight, and then
mhm,
some of them you've been kind of lighter than
mhm,
170. So,
yeah.
what weight division are you looking to be fighting in?
I'm gonna be fighting at 155.
Okay.
I'm natural 155 pounder, man. I probably walk around at like 72, 73, somewhere around there. But yeah, I'll be at 55. But when I was fighting, man, I just would kind of take what I could get because I had to close the gap on a lot of these guys having a little bit more octagon time than me. So I knew I had to fight. So sometimes guys would be like, "Oh, I'm 182, I can't make 170," or "Oh, I'm 165, I can't make 55." So I was like, "Okay, all right, it is what it is. Like, let's do it."
Yeah, because I was about to ask you about the welterweight division, but now that you said you're fighting at 155, and you just mentioned, no congratulations until you get that title. How do you feel about the current state of the lightweight division in the UFC?
I think there's a lot of talent, man. Overall, it's been probably one of the best divisions in the company for a while. So obviously, it's a privilege to compete in that weight class, man, and to follow up after some of the greats like Khabib, BJ Penn, guys like that. So obviously, man, I'm up for the challenge and I'm excited for it. You know.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've never been to a third round.
I have. I against this guy named Montreal. I forget the last name, but I
Montreal
fought him
James.
in, yeah, Montreal James. Yep, I
Yeah,
fought him in St. Louis. And I just couldn't kind of control him the whole time
yeah. I
and
just
didn't get the finish.
because I was looking, and I forgot about him because I have him listed down in my notes as being,
Hmm.
the only decision that you've went to. But I was going to ask, that considering you've only been to, a third round once in your career, do you feel that, maybe some people would think maybe you don't have a gas tank, maybe, or anything like that, considering a majority of them have been in the first and second round. Maybe some people will be like, well, maybe
Hmm.
I can drag them into deep waters. Do you think
Deep
that?
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think people are gonna be saying that during your career?
Man, I want him to think that, man. That I'll leave that up for speculation. I don't want him to think that though, man. Because that's good. That's good good analysis. If you one of my opponents, it's good analysis. So think that. Got no problem with it.
So I wanted to talk about your wrestling background, and I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to talk about obviously NC State, and
Hmm.
you were at what level? What was it? The world championship?
I never went to the World Championship. I went to the World Cup one time, but I wrestled at the World Team Trials. I think is what you're referring to. But
Yeah.
that's like the best of the best in the United States, and then they all get put in one tournament, and the winner goes and represents the country at the World Championships. So that's what it was. I wrestled in that 5 or 6. I think every year I competed internationally. I wrestled in it.
So
But
you have a strong background in wrestling, and you use that in all your fights pretty much.
mhm.
Do you feel that wrestling is the best base for MMA? If you had to choose, if you had to, recommend somebody to start in one martial art, would you say wrestling is that?
I think it's all matchup based. To be honest, I think it's all matchup based, man. I would personally say that you got to do everything. You know what I mean? You got to be a well-rounded mixed martial artist nowadays. Like obviously, you look at and they're the best of the best, right? I'm not ragging on them, but you see Duplessis and Chimaev last weekend or 2 weekends ago. Like it's crazy. You got to be able to do everything, man. You know what I mean? Tremendous striking, but you got to be able to grapple too. Because Chimaev just went out there and took the dude down 5, 6, 7 times, man, like it was nothing. So even when you get to the highest level, you got to keep kind of sharpening all those tools, man.
So talking about that fight, Hamzat used his wrestling a majority of the time, and if I'm not mistaken, had like 20 plus minutes of control time on the
Yeah,
ground.
man. Yeah.
Um, when people say that that style is boring, you know, what, how do you feel in that argument?
Man, when people say that that's boring, I'm with Mighty Mouse, man. Don't watch the MMA world if you think that that's boring, man. Because at the end of the day, you had what 3 or 4 knockouts on that same card too. Like you just bloodthirsty like that. You want to see everybody get knocked out. You got to be able to kind of appreciate the sport for what it is. You know what I mean? It's called mixed martial arts for a reason. Like if you want to see people get knocked out, go watch boxing. But then even in boxing, man, I think at the end of the day, man, people always gonna say something, man. People always gonna talk. So just let them talk, regardless of what you do. Floyd greatness, man. Never got hit. Oh, Floyd don't fight, he just run, man. When in reality, he out there putting on defensive masterpieces. You know what I'm saying? And I can see it, and I'm sure that other fighters and combat athletes can see it, but it's hard to see with like just from a fan's perspective. You know what I mean?
I mean, obviously, I agree with you. You know what I mean. If
Hmm.
you look at something like that and you think that's boring, Hamzat literally held him down and controlled him, did whatever he wanted to do with that man.
Hmm.
Like for me,
Yep.
for somebody to say that's boring is crazy to me. So obviously,
Yeah, I'm with you.
I wanted your opinion on that, considering your background. Now,
Hmm. No doubt.
talk wanted to go and talk about your coaching. How long were you coaching?
I coached for 2 or 3 years, I want to say.
Mhm.
I think I started in 23 and stopped in 25. So I think 2 years. I spent 2 years coaching.
So you started at NC State.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then I finished at NC State earlier this year.
So, with the coaching experience that you have, is there anything from coaching, considering you're on at that time you were on the opposite side of things where you were, giving the advice rather
Hmm.
than getting the advice? Do you feel that you took some things from that time and applied it to yourself in your MMA career, as far as just being on the opposite side of things?
Hmm. What I took from coaching, man, is really just to be coachable. Because we had a bunch of guys like to come in and out of our program, and a lot of them achieved success in many different ways. But the ones that achieved success on the mat were the ones that were coachable, man. Like it was never no, oh, coach, you don't know what you're talking about, or this or that. Anytime you would tell them something, they were always receptive to it. Guys like Vincent Robinson, he's on the NCAA champion last year. Jacob Camacho, Alex Faison, Derek Fields, guys like that, they would always listen. So it was never any back and forth. Whatever it was, they were always open to it and kind of received it the right way and applied it too. So that's probably the biggest takeaway I learned. So even if I know something about if we're at a wrestling practice and I know a little bit about the situation, I'm still asking questions like I'm brand new to the sport. So just be a sponge, man. Be coachable and be able to receive that constructive criticism. You know.
So again, talking about coaching, who were some coaches, when you were, growing up? Because I don't know how, you got into wrestling. Who were
Hmm.
some coaches, or how did you, get into wrestling as a kid? I guess.
So man, how I got into wrestling was crazy, man. I thought it was the WWE at first. So when I went to my first practice, man, I walk in the gym. I'm like, man, where the turnbuckles at? Where the ring and all of this stuff at? And that was just this flat mat out there. And I'm just like, oh man. And then that was kind of like the first time that I found out that wrestling was fake or whatever. So man, I'm distraught, heartbroken or whatever. So I go home, my mom tell me to stick with it. And I ended up sticking with it, man. And here I was like 20 years later, still using it to do what I'm doing today. But the coaches that's man, I do this. So many coaches that then had a positive impact on my life, man. My high school coach Chris Whalen, probably too many to name. My college coach Lee Pritz, my high school coach Bam Hurd, Pat Papalizio, Jamil Kelly. It's a dude. There's a lot of them, man. Too many to list. But they always kind of pushed me in a way that they knew how. Like I was a guy that needed the edge, so they would uh just be on me, man, constantly. Like, oh, this guy's doing. If I had that guy that I was competing against, oh, this guy did that today. And obviously they were lying, but they just knew how to kind of push my buttons and get me to do more
Yeah.
and put the work in, you know. But
Well,
yeah.
their coaching style with you. Do you feel that you took some things from their coaching style and applied it to yourself when you were coaching the younger guys at NC State?
Oh yeah, a lot of them, man. A lot of the tactics and strategies and even like verbiage, man, I still use with the guys that I coach there. Just just kind of pushing guys and allowing and trying to get them to see things from a different perspective, a different lens. You know what I mean? That's probably what I took away from all of those coaches the most.
Now, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was looking on your page and I seen something with I believe it was a camp that you were doing with some other guys in Derek Brunson.
Yeah, yep. That was
Have you
a couple years ago.
have you you know have you how's the relationship with Derek Brunson if there is a relationship?
Oh, that's my guy, man. Yeah, Brunson's the man. That's my guy. Yeah,
Now,
he actually brought me out to his gym, man, before I even started fighting, and then that's kind of where I got the itch at a little bit. So
really?
yeah, that's my guy. I talk to him every now and then. Yo.
Okay. So, I had to ask because he went to the college that I go
Pembroke.
to. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, really? Yeah.
hmm
Oh, you go to Pembroke? That's what's
yeah.
up, man.
Um,
Right up the road.
but looking at guys like that you have relationships with that have been in the UFC, um, do you kind of look at it and say, okay, I can do that. I can do what he did. I can do it at the level that he did. I can, maybe even I can maybe pass him. I can maybe, take something that he's given me, and I can
Hmm.
and I can keep going.
Yeah, it's motivating, right, man? And just being around really good guys like that, man, and true competitors. It's exactly what you said it is. It's like, man, I've seen them dominate guys with this specific style. Like, I want to get to that level, man, and kind of re-emulate what he did. You know what I mean?
Now, I seen that you and Daniel Cormier follow each other, and I'm not. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't know how y'all's relationship is, but again, I wanted to ask and
Hmm.
see how that was.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I that's why I train at, man. So I'm out here right now. I just left the gym right now.
So,
So yeah, we
oh,
just
so what gym do you train with?
the academy out
Really?
in California. Yep, the academy out
Okay,
in
okay,
California. So that's where I've been training at, man.
right. Now,
Getting that
how's
work
that
in.
been?
It's been good, man. It's been good. And I mean, I go a few different other places. My other coach too, Jerry Boyle. He sets all type of good training up for me, man. So he introduced me to Dave Branch not too long ago. Dave's an amazing coach, man. So I'm blessed to be able to work with a lot of these high level guys that's fought in the UFC, man, like you were saying before. So it's just motivating, man. You know what I mean? Motivating. But at the end of the day, I got to go out there and do it myself. So I don't get too much caught up in what they've done. I just try and focus on myself, man, and take the little lessons and try and apply it to my life and my career.
Yeah, I mean the old saying, iron sharpens iron, and I mean you got guys in
Yep.
there, that's been at a high level, so it's
Yep.
just gonna,
Been to the top.
yeah.
Yep. Not
Now
bad.
we've been talking about the gyms and the people that you've been training with and stuff, but now what kind of advice do you have to people, to younger guys that maybe want to get into MMA or maybe want to get into wrestling, but are kind of scared, maybe a little hesitant to get into it. What advice do you have to them regarding that?
The advice I would give to the younger guys trying to get into the sport is just go do it, man. It's funny that you asked that because I put off boxing for probably 4 years before I got started in MMA. And who knows, if I started boxing back then, I might have been in MMA before I even competed internationally in wrestling. But I got this one friend. real close friend of mine. He owns a company in Raleigh, and he's got a real good connection with my now boxing coach. But he used to tell me years ago, "Hey, go to the boxing, go to the boxing." And I was just kind of like what you said. I was like, "Oh man, I ain't never boxed before. I ain't trying to go in there and be fighting them dudes and get hit and da da da. I don't know how to protect myself." But then I went in there, man. Me and Remy at Jawbreaker Boxing got one of the best relationships that you could even have with a coach. So I would just say to go do it, man. Like I said, dibble and dabble and everything, and because at the end of the day, mixed martial artists, so you got to put that work in every little facet of the game, so you can be the best you can be. You know.
Now, one last question, because I know you said you had 30 minutes, so I don't want to take a lot of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Be fine.
Again, the Dana White Contender Series, a big opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Is I know there's no opponent set and there's no date. Do you have any information on that? Maybe a name's been said, a date's been said.
Yeah. I've been communicating with him a little bit. We'll just say that, but I'll be fighting on September 16th though, in a couple weeks here.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm fine tuning some things and getting ready to go out there and compete, man. So it's gonna be fun one, man. Tune in, man.
Oh, dude, I love this. Is literally the Dana White Contender Series is when I started this channel because I
Uh
was
huh.
like, okay, I want to start making videos of these guys coming in, because
Mhm.
I played a lot of sports, and I just like the development side of things, like the new guys coming in, the
Mhm.
development part of that. And I was like, I
Yep.
want to make videos on these guys, and I want to interview them. So, dude, I
Mhm.
love the Contender Series, man, and being
Yeah.
able to interview people like you and other
Yeah.
fighters, dude,
Mhm.
it's amazing.
The best.
So, yeah. Um, so yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Pretty much it. I don't want to take a bunch of your time, like I said.
Mhm.
Um, is there anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors, anything, gyms, people you want to shout out before we
Hey,
go?
Sabor del Sol Tequila, man. Out there in North Carolina, go get you a bottle, man, from the ABC store. Coming to an ABC store near you, man. My guys, man, and my people. So
Well, all right, brother. Again, everybody watching, Thomas. Again, am I saying your last name right?
yeah, it's Gantt.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't want to
And
come
you
on here
did.
and butcher it.
Nah, you did, man. It gets butchered all the time, so I'm used to it. But that's right though. Gantt.
Okay. Okay. For everybody watching, Thomas Gantt, 10-0 professional MMA fighter, 9 finishes, a beast, NC State wrestler,
Mhm.
amazing guy. Thank you again for coming on and let me interview you for the channel, brother. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
All right, man. Hey, be safe, man.
All right, appreciate it. You too, man. Good chatting with you, bro. Peace.